Good morning, everyone. This is Rambabu Vasupilli, CEO of NCPL Group of Companies. In this video, I would like to discuss about how to get a remote or a work from home job in Canada. In this video, I will give you some tips. These tips may or may not help you to get the remote job, but it will definitely increase the chances of getting a remote or a work from home job. Okay, so when let's say I'll take some cases. Let's say a person is in Calgary, and Calgary market is very small. I think Calgary market is only 5% of entire IT job market in Canada. If it is a 5% market, obviously the chances of a candidate getting a job in Calgary is obviously 5%, right? So he is losing 95% of the market. So there are some tips to do it. So when you apply for the jobs, you don't see whether it is a remote job or an on-site job or hybrid job. If the job posting is matching your skill set, then immediately apply. Okay, then this is one area where people do mistake. They always see, oh, they will apply only if it mentions as a remote job. No, you are just doing a mistake there. Apply for either an on-site job or a hybrid job. Most of the companies, even though they know the job is remote, for a safer side, they always mention it as a hybrid job, because if they announce it as a remote job and if they need you to come to office for any specific reason, then you will clearly mention, oh, I applied for this job because it is posted as a remote job. Now you're asking me to come to office. I can't really come. So then it causes problem to the employer. An employer can't do anything, right? So that's why, to be on the safer side, every company advertises the job as a hybrid job, just in case if they want candidate to come to office sometimes, then this clause will help them protect and argue about that. So if you are not applying for hybrid jobs, then you are missing all these job opportunities. So that's why don't worry whether the job is advertised as a on-site job or a hybrid job or a remote job. Your job is to apply for all the jobs that meet your criteria. This is number one. So apply for jobs in your location and apply for jobs in other location as well, irrespective of how it is advertised as. Now, let's say you have applied, you have had calls with the recruiters. When they call you, they will specifically ask you, it is a hybrid job. Are you really sure you wanted to come to office once in a week or twice in a week? Don't say no. Always say yes. It is a yes that you can come to office twice a week or once a week or whenever there is a requirement in the company. Many people say, no, I can't come. I live in Calgary. I can't come to Toronto. And they'll also ask you, this job is in Toronto, so would you like to relocate? Tell them you are willing to relocate, even though you know you don't want to relocate, right? But don't miss the chance of going to the next level to the interview. You can decide whether you want to join in the job at the time of getting the offer. Why to have a deal breaker at the starting step itself when you can decide whether you wanted to join at the end? In the worst case, what happens? You lose the opportunity, right? You will lose it even when you say you don't want to relocate. Either way is the same, right? But there are some chances they agree to the remote work. And one more thing is, even if you lose that offer because you are not able to relocate, you will get interview experience, right? So the interview experience is very valuable. So whenever the recruiter asks, are you willing to relocate? Tell you are willing to relocate, and you can relocate as soon as you get the job offer. If they ask you, are you willing to come to the office or in a hybrid manner, you always tell them, yes, you can come to office and attend the office timings whenever you want to, whenever the company wants to have the employee coming. And another point that you have to note is when you apply for these jobs, um, don't filter them based on, again, relocation or other things, right? So when you go to LinkedIn and search for the job, there are several filters, so don't use these filters. Apply for all the jobs. Let's say you had a call with the recruiter, you agreed for relocation, you have agreed to come to office once or twice in a week if it is hybrid, or all the 5 days if it is a fully on-site job. Then you will have an interview set up, and let's say you crack that interview, you got the offer. So now you got the offer, you are living in Calgary, and you wanted to, and you got the offer in a Toronto based company. Now, how to deal with it? Now, when the offer is given, there is always a kind of a informal discussion with hiring manager. If there is no such discussion is scheduled, ask for that discussion. In that discussion, since they already are convinced that you are a good fit for the role, have a discussion with hiring manager. Hey, Mr. John, I'm living in Calgary. For me, it might take a while to move to Toronto, at least 2 months. Would you mind if I relocate within 2 months instead of immediately? Most of the hiring managers are always flexible because you already proved that you're a good candidate in the interview, right? So if you request, and if your request is very fair, then hiring managers will agree. But don't tell them that you wanted to work only in Calgary. Show them the seriousness that you just need some time to relocate to Toronto, even though you don't have intention to relocate to Toronto. Because the minute you say, I don't want to come to Toronto, I want to work only in Calgary, they'll start arguing. We advertise this as a hybrid position, you agreed, and now you're saying like this, don't you lack honesty, blah, 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 right? So that causes honesty issues. Instead, tell them, I'm willing to relocate, but because of the personal issues, I need some time. I had to sort out my property sale here. My husband has to, or wife has to sort out the issues in her company. My kids' education has to be sorted out. I'm still trying for accommodation in Toronto. All that, you show your seriousness. 90% of the cases, hiring managers will definitely agree. Let's say hiring manager doesn't agree. He says, no, you have to come to office. Then what you have to do is, don't lose the opportunity. Instead, from Calgary to Toronto, go there and work there for at least 2 weeks. In the process of working those 2 weeks, you convince the hiring manager that you are a very good fit for the role, you are working very seriously, you are communicating very well with the team, you are dedicated, sincere. The minute they see all these personality traits with you, what they do is then start the negotiation. Hey, I left my husband and kids in Calgary. I came to Toronto only for the sake of job. I'm still searching for the accommodation. I did not get it yet. Hey, Mr. John, can you please allow me to work in Calgary for a couple of months till the time we relocate here permanently? Trust me, 90% of the hiring managers will agree, provided you show the seriousness of coming here, showing sincerity in your work, dedication in your work. After all, what does anybody want from an employee, right? A productive work. People insist coming to office only to increase the productivity, because if people are working remote, there is a lot of moonlighting happening, there is a lot of conflict of interest, code of conduct issues happening, which is the reason why many companies decided to invite the employees to work only from the office. But there is always flexibility from hiring manager, as long as you show the seriousness. But don't try to break the deals by being firm that you don't want to move. There are different nice ways of telling the same thing but if you tell in a blunt way, you are going to hamper your job search campaign, and you're not going to get a remote job, right? You need a bit of luck to get a completely remote job, but those remote jobs are drastically coming down because of the moonlighting issues post COVID. But these are the ways which you can try to implement, and I'm sure you'll be able to have the chances of getting a remote job increased. That's it on this topic. If you find this video informative, feel free to share this video to your friends. Comment if you have any questions, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to talk to me in private about a very specific situation about this remote job, feel free to schedule a call. The calendar link is given in the description of these videos, and we can talk and discuss and come up with a right career pathway for you. Thank you so much.